Hey guys, Professor Fat Shady from the University of Trials, back with another video. You finally see my face again. The last video I put out was Trials Evolution achievement for Ultimate Endurance 2, which you will see up here, 14th of December. Finally did this after 2 years worth of effort. Pretty much every comment said go and test do Wail of the Banshee. Now I haven't done this. It's another 10 gamer score one. It's ridiculously unfair the amount of gamer score you get relative to the difficulty of this. I'm not going to get this in this video. I'm calling it right now. But a bunch of people even wanted to see my attempts. So this video to me is kind of going to be a little bit more chilled. I can actually discuss a little bit more about why I haven't put out videos for a little while, and just a random kind of sit down and have a chat. So probably a longer video, but it's just going to be me mucking around with this tournament. I have myself a little drink. A very good drink. Very strong grape juice, made from malt something. I don't know, barley. I don't know how stuff's made. Anyway, so Hard and Nails tournament with the Banshee. Now have a look here. My best is 27 faults. I'm ranked about 4,000th. It is 5 tracks, all of hard difficulty. The challenge is you need to complete it with the Banshee, which is, for people who haven't played Evolution, I think I'm probably right in saying it's somewhere between a Phoenix and Scorpion / Roach. Pit Viper, Phoenix. So somewhere in between the sort of super agile and fast, but it kind of is a weird mix of both. So look, I'm just going to go through this because part of this is going to be, oh my god, I'm not doing that zero fault. It's like the first of Look, this is really just me having a muck around with this. So anyway, let's talk about a few things. First and foremost, why I haven't put out videos for a little while. As I kind of alluded to in my my first little vid I put out the other day with the Evo challenge, I kind of just wanted a break. It was kind of weird. It wasn't really planned. So it sort of started out firstly, my daughter got a bit sick and just wasn't sleeping well, and for anyone who's got understands what it's like to have an 18-month-old child, when they don't want to sleep, it can be a bit difficult. And to be honest, you know, like I've said this to a bunch of people, this is kind of just a hobby I do in my spare time. If I've got pretty much anything else going on in my life that I feel like doing or feel like I need to deal with, the first thing that will be sacrificed is my YouTube channel. I don't really talk much about it, but to be honest, like this isn't a professional channel. I'm not doing this as a career. I'm not trying to make anything of this. It's just a bit of fun. And yeah, if I used all of the YouTube advertising revenue I get, I wouldn't be able to buy myself lunch twice a month. Put it that way. So I'm not kidding. I'm currently, as it stands right now, I'm running at about 1.5 lunches per month. So if that gives you an idea of what this channel generates, then you'll probably understand why I don't feel too compelled to put on a fantastically entertaining little show. 6 fault already. So yeah, look, this is just a bit of fun for me. But then what ended up happening? So after dealing with my daughter for a little bit, the next thing was my trip to Europe. So I think I probably mentioned before I went away, but I did a trip through. So I ended up unexpectedly going to Dubai, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I did Dubai briefly, Paris and London, and then back to Helsinki to go and hang out with the Red Links guys. Dubai was funny because, one, I'd never been there before, and it was kind of cool to check it out. It was only supposed to be an 1.5-hour stopover, but get this, right? So we're leaving Sydney Airport on Emirates with an A380, 400 odd passengers on this plane. We taxi out to the runway, just about to leave Sydney Airport, and someone's like, "Oh, I'm sick. I need to get off the plane." So literally, U-turn a plane with 400 people on it, get her baggage off the flight. Then they have to go through the cabin baggage, right? Because for security reasons, they can't let people just leave cabin baggage on a plane. So they have to actually go through. Oh, this is a horrible checkpoint. They have to actually go through the whole plane and individually account for each piece of cabin baggage before we can depart. We ended up leaving Sydney about an hour and a half late. I only had an hour and a half connection in Dubai, missed that. Emirates put us up in a hotel. Dodgy little airport hotel somewhere, and we ended up going out for dinner. It was cool. Burj Khalifa, just kind of awesome. I hadn't seen it before. I'm a massive fan of Middle Eastern cuisine, let's say. So got to have some awesome food, pretty much right at the foot of the Burj Khalifa, which is lovely. But kind of messed up our first day or so in Paris. Paris was cool. I'd been before, but this was actually for my wife and my 10-year wedding anniversary. So we did Paris, which like I said, I'd seen before. Wife hadn't. She'd never been to Europe before, so that's kind of cool. Did London. My cousin's actually been living in London for about 6 months, so I got to catch up with her. Was going to try and catch up with the couple of Ubisoft people I met last year when I was there for the Twitch stream, but didn't happen. And then at the end of my little family holiday / vacationy thing, I did a catch up with the Red Links guys. So I ended up going to the Red Links office for a couple of days. It was really, to be honest, it was something, they didn't organize it. It was purely, I just happened to be in Europe, and I mean, it's pretty much just domestic air travel. Once you're in Europe, again, you got to remember, because I'm coming from Australia, right? It's a 24-hour flight to get to Europe. Once I'm over there, I kind of, because I know the Red Links guys pretty well, and I like catching up with them and talking about some other stuff, and hopefully get through some other video work or something with them in the future. It was just a cool opportunity. I'm too close not to go, so for the sake of an extra few $100, it was worth it. And I actually wanted my wife to go and meet some of the Red Links guys. It was funny too, right? So many people that will be watching this, I suspect, would love the opportunity to go and hang out in the Red Links office for a day. I took my wife. I could have taken anybody that watches this channel. I wouldn't have paid for you, but I could have taken anyone here and you would have been stoked. My wife was bored out of her brain. She had no interest in being there. She's not a gamer. She doesn't like trials. And it's kind of funny. So I'm like, so many people would be like so excited to be in the Red Links office, and the one person I take is the person that could not care less. But yes, that was kind of cool. I actually gave a bunch of University of Trials shirts, so you saw I did an order a little while back. Oh, that dude is a legend. Haven't seen him for years. You saw I did a University of Trials t-shirt order before I went away, and that was kind of the reason. So I ended up taking about 12. Oh, damn it, down. Took about 12 shirts over to them to hang out. Couple in the US, and most of the guys in Finland, or at least a bunch of the guys in Finland that I actually know pretty well, got them. It was just a cool trip. Like I said, it wasn't really for anything in particular, but it was good fun to just catch up with the guys. I'm not even paying attention to this. God. Actually, I'm still going to beat my record. Actually, alright, so one of the things, let's get back to talk about this challenge for a second. One of the things that I've always said, oh my gosh, this track. I don't even remember this track at the moment. One of the things I've always said with the difficult stuff, okay, fair enough, is to celebrate small victories. So if I try and use my own lessons here, right? I was at 27 faults. If I get 26 or less faults, I should be, I will be, quite pleased with myself. And even if I don't, first time out, I'm cool with that. Considering I don't even remember this. I remember this track. So now I'm actually trying to hit 26. No! I saw that happening. Alright. Celebrate the victories. 35 seconds. I mustn't have actually tried very hard for this. If I can equal my number of faults. Wow. And by the way, I'm a sweat like crazy. I built this study, right? So I boxed in this tiny little room. But The problem is, with in Australian summer, which it is here, so I ripped out my air conditioner because it was broken. I haven't replaced it. I actually used the money for my air conditioner to go to Europe, so I got no cash for aircon. I can't put the fan on because it's picked up on the microphone, and I can't open the door or the window because it picks up the sound of crickets and stuff outside. So I have to sit in a sweat box, right? So for the last 6 months or so, that sucks. For the last 6 months or so, I've been, wearing hoodies pretty much all these videos because it's been cold here and it has been great. Summer, it's actually honestly on occasion, it's been the reason why I haven't made a video because I've just gone, it's too damn hot. And even now, I've been sitting here for 10-15 minutes. I don't know how much of my sweat is going to show up on cam. Hopefully not too much, but yeah, it ain't pleasant. But anyway, I needed, I think, the break from trials, and I've said that to a stack of people. So, I mean, it's the type of game I'll always keep coming back to, but I don't ever want to do this. And this is funny. I got a comment on on the last video I put out from someone who's kind of acting a little entitled and sort of wanted, I think said something like they were disappointed in me for not putting out videos more frequently. But the whole thing, and I tried to mention this in the last video, half the reason why I guess people like watching my content is because I'm genuinely enthusiastic about this stuff, and it's not an act. Like, I really do enjoy this game this much. But if I ever get to a point where I feel like I'm not that I'm not enjoying it, but I felt like, Fallout 4 came out. I freaking loved that. I put about 30 hours in so far. I'm only up to about level 21. But to me, that was a big release and a big game that I wanted to, really sink some time into. And if that means have a break from this channel, and I should, and I will always do that because I think it's healthy to keep that balance. And I do always play a stack of other games. Yeah, so this is the thing. I'm sitting here going, oh, I've done 2 tracks, 0 fault. I don't remember the tracks well enough to be able to pull this off yet. I've got to say that Banshee isn't as bad as everyone was making out, to be honest. And I actually think... Here we go. Oh, this one. Yeah. So that's the thing, I'm going to need to just get those type of ones down consistent. That's cool. Now I've got a fault, I can kind of cruise. You always get nervous when you haven't got that first fault. Once you get the first one, you know it's blown, so you just run through it. Anyway, so my plan at the moment, sub 26 fault run. This is the thing, they're only hard difficulty. And I was actually having a think about this, right? So a few people made the comment that the bike handling sucked or something. And I'm actually wondering, because they were so used to, what was it, the Phoenix, which is the sort of Pit Viper equivalent, I'm wondering whether or not that's what made this almost harder, right? Like, I'm kind of looking at this going, it's kind of agile. It's not horrible to ride. I'm finding it, like, it's different physics. But because I've been playing Fusion so much, I guess I'm looking at this as its own sort of standalone bike now. Yeah, I was kind of sad it was going to be a fail zone, wasn't it? This doesn't feel like it should be this difficult. Oh. Wow. I blew way too many faults on that. That was one obstacle for like 5 faults. Considering how well the rest of my run's been going, that's really disappointing. And that's the other thing too, I've got to try and remember not to try and speedrun this. Like, no, not that I am, but... just, because it is just zero fault. I don't know, this looks achievable. And I think, honestly, I was talking to somebody... Never remember names, but I was talking to somebody on... what was it? Sorry, I'm just having a look at my audio levels. They seem a little high. Ah, damn it. I was talking to somebody recently on my Way of the Machine Platinum run, I think it was, and talking about the reason why that track's so difficult, and it's because it's not only hard but long, and I think that's the challenge with this too. You're asking for perfection on a 6-minute long track. Forget about the fact that there's really 5 tracks here. What you're really doing is saying for 6.5 minutes you need to be perfect on the hard stuff, and that's a lot to do. Like, you can't take that lightly. But it's not extreme, and I mean, I've done zero fault on 6 minutes of extreme before, so I'm wondering why this is seen to be so difficult. Mind you, I'm at 8 faults, but it just feels like practice, as always. Yeah, if I... Oh, see, okay, so that one I always stuff up. So you just gotta... Okay, so you just don't jump the first gap. Slow there. Front wheel up there. Very slow here. See, yeah, this is... That's difficult. To have after on this 5th track a rear wheel hop like that, it's a bit tough. This one's not bad. This section, because someone mentioned the last jump here saying it just required a lot of luck. This one, I had to catch that. Yeah, I think it's this. Yeah. So this is the one. No, but it's not. Look at that. In 2 attempts, I've gone from 27 to 11. At this rate, I'll be done in 35 minutes. Not gonna happen. Look at that. 1900. I like this. Oh, man. I should get like a University of Trials sweatband. Even my arms. The glamorous life of YouTube, man. I got sweat on my table. Alright, let's do this again. I'm sure I had other things I wanted to talk about. Okay. I kind of should make a video about this, but I wasn't sure exactly how to. But the cross-platform Track Central. Huge announcement for all current gen systems, Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Any new track you create in Track Central will immediately be, or at least very quickly be, cross-platform. Namely, like, you can, anyone on any system can play it. Oh, come on! So that's a big announcement, and I've done the same mistake again. Slower there. And they will be retrospectively updating Track Central. So obviously they're going to have to do a batch process. I think I've read somewhere it was like 1,500 tracks an evening or week or whatever, however frequently they do it. But they will eventually make all tracks cross-platform. But they're just sort of taking their time because it's obviously a batch process that needs to run probably when the servers are quiet to dump the data across. But that's huge, and that's something that's a very, very big feature that a lot of the track building community have been asking for, is to actually enable people to build the track on PS4 and then play it on PC. I know the PC guys especially are going to be stoked because for some reason the PC player base is substantially smaller. But now those guys get the benefit of all of the Xbox One and PS4 track creators. So it can only be a good thing for people like us, to be honest. I heard about it about a week before it happened. So obviously when I was in Helsinki, they sort of mentioned it to me, and I was really surprised, actually. That was kind of, I think, my first reaction was, damn, there's going to be some happy community people. But yeah, I was really surprised that I actually pulled it off, especially when you think about the fact that, you know, okay, I got that one down now. Fusion came out like what, year and a half at least ago. Like it's surprising for them to still make such a substantial back end change to a game this far past its release date, which I guess goes back to the stuff they've been saying, which is that they do want to support this for quite some time. So yeah, I was pretty impressed that they pulled it off. And you think about it, the technical, I mean, I work in IT, so I have a little appreciation for the technical and server side stuff that would have had to have been done. But you just think about, like, they would have had to talk, I suspect, to Microsoft and Sony and negotiate with them to allow people, or to basically get data from both of their servers and put them in the same place. I don't know how many other user-generated concepts do that, you know, like to a certain extent, but not a sort of comprehensive. I gotta learn how to do this. Wow. Yeah, so anyway, Track Central, pretty awesome. Okay, so this one I go slower here, yep. Bounce there. So I think what I'm starting to find is that there is about probably 5 to 10. So that one I just need to be confident. I think last time I was trying to take it too cautiously. There's about 5 or 10 places where I'm likely to stuff up, like consistently. I'm sure there's a lot of cheap mistakes, and I think that's what this achievement would be all about, is cheap mistakes. But there's about 5 or 10 places where I suspect I will benefit from considerable practice. So actually, I'm just going to start this again because, and again, I'm breaking one of my own rules. I've always said, top up your drinks. I've always said, when you're trying to zero fault something, even if you fault or exceed your sort of limit, you should keep going. But I also said, do as I say, not as I do. Oh, and this is the track that's got the hidden song in it too. If you know, if I'm not familiar with the hidden song, you should be by now. Trails Evolution Riddle. Such a cool song. Be confident on the real wheel there. I don't know. I mean, this. I'm not going to say it's doable, but it is. Again, it will come back down to whether or not I feel like putting in the effort, because that's all this is. This is effort, repetition. I think what I'll say, if this were to come out I'm gonna say when, because they just have to make this cross-platform. As soon as oh no, I hesitated, stuffed up. As soon as they make this cross-platform for Xbox One, I will make the effort to get this. As it is on the 360, not really sure. See, that's, you've got to be so confident with some of those bunny hops, like. And that's the hard thing with these overly cautious zero fault runs, you tend to lose that confidence that you've got, and that's where you end up making the simple mistakes too. And it takes a lot of practice for you to be that confident you can keep your nerve even with difficult challenges. I still struggle with that sometimes. I'm better at it than I guess I was. But yeah, like things like this, right? Like this is an easy one to pass every time when you're just cruising through. But you can see yourself stuffing up and just bumping your head on something, and this is how simple you can ruin 6 minutes of effort. Yeah, just by bumping your head. And what I think I'll find is going to be the hardest is the obstacles you can't recover from. Like things like this. Easy, but no turning back if you stuff it. This one. Difficult, but not really. But you get your back wheel caught up in there, look at that. I have not got a consistent way for this yet. Because, and what it is, it's this freaking box there, it pumps you up, so I've got to get my front wheel up. That certainly wasn't it. Oh. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be one of... Oh, should have saved that. Alright, I'm going to do this. Okay, so that's all it is. Neutral position up to the wooden plank, sit down, forward, and go. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's hot. I don't think the, well, anybody that knows monkey shoulder, it ain't helping the heat. Oh, so nice though. So nice. I don't know. It's been 2 months since I put a video out. I got nothing to talk about. It's funny, I'm kind of a bit rusty in the old commentary skills, I think, too. Talked about my trip, talked about cross-platform stuff. What was that? Oh, that's the other thing I'll do too with these sort of endurance-y type challenges. I'll end up getting to the point where if I don't zero fault the first 3 or 4, like once I'm comfortable with these, if I don't zero fault the first, like, well, eventually I'll get to a point where I just won't bother proceeding if I fault. But if I don't zero fault the easy ones, then stupid stuff like that, I won't bother. I'll start again. Because to me, that would actually be the worst torture, is if you made a stupid mistake at the start and then was like, it doesn't matter, I'm not going to zero fault it, so I'll just keep pushing on, and then you finish the tournament with 1 fault, and it's that cheap, stupid one you should know. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't live with that being the 1 fault, if that makes sense. I would much rather be on one of these harder obstacles than something cheap. Like, I'd rather just cancel a run with a cheap fault than risk having that be what's left on the leaderboard. Because that would be the end of me. I've got to say, I don't mind this bike. He says as he stuffs it. Is this still the first track? God. Alright, I don't think I can do... How long have I been doing? 28 minutes? Yeah, it is. Wow. Time flies when you're playing trials. So, look, let me know in the comments what else you want me to check out or do. It's funny, I used to keep a list of stuff, and I think I've lost it. I may still have it around, but yeah, my list of requested videos and stuff I've kind of lost. I do want to feature some more Track Central stuff, So if you've got any good recommendations on that, let me know. Tutorials, obviously, I'll always look for. Oh, this damn thing. Yeah, any tutorials I'll always have a look at. Just fun random stuff you've done, challenges you want to set me. I don't really care what it is, as long as it involves trials. I will happily make videos for you. Oh, and Frontier. I'm definitely going to do some more Frontier. That's the other thing I've been doing. I've been playing Frontier, not massively, but a lot more than I had been for probably the last few months. And I'm really enjoying it. Like, there's a Christmas tournament challenge thing on at the moment, and yeah, I've been playing that like crazy. I think I'm done. I'll burn through one more time. I don't care about faults. I don't care. I do care about faults. Alright, burn through this one more time. And I'm gonna have to I have to get some like ice packs on me or something for when I film. This is insanely hot. See, that jump is gonna stuff up many good runs. But I'm still such a fan of this game. Oh, and see, trying to cheat through some of these as well. That's the other problem. You become complacent. You get to a point where you're like, oh, I've done this 100 times before. I won't put any effort in or pay attention. And again, enduro type challenges, stuff like that, which I should never fault, but I tried to rush it. Turns into 3 faults. Turns into more. Told you, stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes is what's going to be riddled with these replays. But anyway, look, actually, you know what? That's what my goal should be, I think, single digit to start with. Getting to 11 already, I think if I give this a bit of practice. I mean, these are literally the first. I mean, I think I tried this once last night after recording the achievement video I did, and that was it. These other 3 or 4 runs has been it for me. So to go from 27 being my record really suggests I didn't actually try too hard if I nailed 27 first time out. And then 11 after that. Single digits is achievable. Getting the achievement is... Oh, that's right, sorry. Okay, so I said neutral, down, forward. See, this is why the Professor Fat Shady School of Learning really... I mean, I do it. I mean, this is... all these stupid little neutral position, lean forward, accelerate here, 80% here. That's what happens in my head when I play this game. And I think the reason why I've been able to, be able to teach people so many things is because that's just how my brain sees this game now. And when I'm trying to do these, like, be stupidly consistent challenges, I'm doing that stuff in my head every damn time. I could have finished my worst run of the night, but I don't care. Because part of the other thing is too, the bike does have different physics. So one of the things that I guess I just have to acknowledge is that I will need to learn the physics of this bike and be comfortable with this bike. So even burning through, at the end of a session, 20, 30, 40 fault run, it doesn't really matter. I'm memorizing the tracks, and I'm further familiarizing myself with the specific bike physics. So even massively faulted runs aren't completely wasted effort. It's kind of a nice way to think about all the mistakes you make are all leading toward the ultimate success. Whether you believe that or not, it is true. Okay, down here. That felt like a mistake. I think I just had a visitor. Oh, and I'm trying to get Mini Shady, my son, into making a Frontier video for the channel. He plays it a bit. It's actually surprisingly good, and funnily enough, takes absolutely, you may not believe this, it takes absolutely no pointers or advice from me. Like, he would rather, and I think maybe he's actually got my sort of mentality, he'd rather struggle through it himself and make the mistakes than he would have someone teach him how to do it. Kind of stubborn, but I kind of respect that about him as well. Alright, here we go. 31 faults. Shockingly bad. Wow, that's probably the worst fault of the night. Oh my, okay. Second checkpoint, do not jump. Okay, this one, drop down. High jump, up and over. Slow here. Up to the platform. Confident rear wheel. Like I said, it's sometimes when I say confident, it just means don't dance. Don't dance around it. Don't try and be cautious or safe. You just need to do it like you would any other time, because natural instinct will likely be more successful than an overly cautious attempt. Like this one, right? So this is the hardest thing. Yeah, that's not luck though. You can get that angle down. Alright, that was a bad way to finish this video, but 11 faults is a good effort, I think, on my first night out. I'm going to come back to this. May not be for a while. I may do a little bit in my spare time and make some more videos when I get a bit better and consistent. But yeah, I think that seems achievable. So I don't think I want to let that one go yet. And I'm definitely going to make that statement here, that when Trials Evolution becomes cross-platform, backwards compatible on Xbox One. By the way, honestly, I spoke to Red Links about this. They didn't even know when or how, and basically I genuinely don't believe they're involved in that conversation. I actually think it's Microsoft. From what I've been able to figure out, I think it's Microsoft who are the publisher of this game, who have the ultimate say on when this will happen. I've actually spoken to two people at Microsoft myself who I've met through the years. Neither of them knew who the right person. I said to one of them, I'm like, tell me who I got to sleep with. I'm game. And yeah, nobody seems to know who it is. But anyway, okay, I gotta run now. Thank you for watching, and I'll make some more vids soon. Cheers.